The importance of friendship in our lives. Friendship is a central aspect of our lives, influencing not just our happiness, but also our mental and emotional well-being. We often underestimate the impact that the people around us can have on our thoughts, decisions, and overall personal growth. As the old saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This means that the quality of our friendships can either lift us to new heights or drag us down into negative behaviors and thought patterns. In today's world, relationships are more complex than ever. With the rise of social media and digital interactions, maintaining healthy friendships can be a challenge. Sometimes, we might find ourselves surrounded by people who, knowingly or unknowingly, have a toxic influence on our lives. Such relationships can drain our energy, lower our self-esteem, and even disrupt our mental peace. This brings us to the topic of today's discussion: how to identify toxic friendships and, more importantly, how to protect ourselves from the negative impact these relationships may bring. In this post, I will not only summarize the key points from the original video titled 4 Signs of a Toxic Friendship, but also provide deeper insights into these signs with personal examples, psychological explanations, and actionable advice on how to deal with toxic friendships in your life. By the end, you will have a clearer understanding of what constitutes a healthy friendship and how to maintain one while distancing yourself from negativity. 1. The first sign: one-sided friendships. The first sign of a toxic friendship is when the relationship becomes one-sided. This happens when one friend is only interested in what they can get from the relationship without offering anything in return. A healthy friendship, like any good relationship, should involve mutual respect, support, and care. When it's always about them, their needs, their problems, their desires, without any concern for what you might need, it's a glaring red flag. This type of behavior can manifest in various ways. You might notice that they often call or text you when they need something but disappear when you need a shoulder to lean on. They might ask for favors but conveniently forget to return the gesture. In some cases, they might even gaslight you into thinking you're overreacting if you ever bring it up. I've had a friend in the past who consistently asked for favors, whether it was borrowing money, seeking advice, or needing emotional support, but never reciprocated. At first, I didn't mind helping because, as friends, it's natural to want to support each other. However, over time, I realized that the support was only flowing one way. I was always the giver, while they were the constant taker. This realization came with a mix of frustration and disappointment, but it also taught me an important lesson. Setting boundaries is essential in maintaining a balanced relationship. In Buddhism, the principle of giving, dana, is highly valued. It emphasizes that giving should come from a place of compassion and not with the expectation of receiving something in return. However, when it comes to toxic friendships, it's important to recognize when giving turns into enabling. You should be mindful of how your generosity is received and whether it fosters a healthy bond or simply fuels a one-sided dynamic. 2. The second sign: empty promises. The second sign of a toxic friendship is when your friend often makes promises they don't keep. These are the friends who will say all the right things, offering support and encouragement in words, but when it comes to actions, they fall short. They may promise to be there for you during a difficult time, or say they will help you with something important, but when the moment arrives, they are nowhere to be found. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing their words, especially when they are so convincing. But over time, when their actions don't match their promises, it leads to feelings of disappointment, betrayal, and mistrust. I once had a colleague-turned-friend who would always talk about how much they valued our friendship. They'd say things like, "If you ever need anything, just ask," or "I'm here for you." However, when I actually reached out for help, whether it was with work-related stress or personal issues, they would either cancel plans last minute or come up with excuses for why they couldn't follow through. Over time, I realized that their words were hollow. It wasn't that they didn't care about me, but they were more concerned with maintaining the appearance of being a supportive friend rather than actually being one. This realization made me more cautious about who I trusted with my vulnerabilities. Psychologically, this behavior can be explained by cognitive dissonance. People who often make promises without delivering may experience a disconnect between their self-image and their actions. They may genuinely believe that they are a good friend, but when it comes to putting effort into the relationship, they fall short because it requires more energy than they are willing to invest. For the person on the receiving end, this can lead to a slow erosion of trust. After all, trust isn't built on words alone. It requires consistent action. As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. In the case of toxic friendships, it's crucial to pay attention to what your friend does, not just what they say. 3. The third sign: flattery and gossip. The third sign of a toxic friendship is when your friend flatters you to your face but speaks poorly of you behind your back. These are the people who are quick to give you compliments, praise you in public, or act like they're your biggest supporter when you're around. However, when you're not present, they spread gossip, criticize you, or even try to undermine your reputation. This type of behavior is particularly insidious because it often goes unnoticed until the damage is done. These friends may act kind and supportive on the surface, but their true intentions are far from genuine. There was a time when I became close to someone who was incredibly complimentary towards me. They would constantly say things like, "You're so talented," or "I admire you so much." At first, I felt flattered and valued. But over time, I started hearing from mutual friends that this same person was speaking negatively about me behind my back, questioning my capabilities, and even spreading rumors. The realization that someone could be two-faced like that was both hurtful and eye-opening. It taught me to be cautious of people who rely heavily on flattery, as it can sometimes mask deeper insecurities or hidden agendas. Buddhism teaches that intention is at the core of all actions. When dealing with people who are flattering on the surface but deceitful behind your back, it's important to look beyond their words and try to understand their true intentions. Are they seeking validation? Are they trying to manipulate you for personal gain? Once you understand their motivations, it becomes easier to detach emotionally and protect yourself from their toxicity. 4. The fourth sign: encouraging negative behavior. The final sign of a toxic friendship is when your friend encourages you to engage in negative or harmful behaviors. These are the people who, instead of helping you make positive choices, encourage you to act out of anger, jealousy, or self-doubt. They may support your bad decisions because it makes them feel better about their own shortcomings, or they might push you towards destructive habits because they thrive on chaos and negativity. In friendships like this, the friend is not concerned with your well-being. They are more focused on keeping you in a state of vulnerability or misery so that they don't feel alone in their struggles. I once had a friend who always encouraged me to hold grudges, act out in anger, or engage in risky behavior whenever I was upset. Instead of offering me solutions that would lead to personal growth or healing, they would fuel my negative emotions, saying things like, "You should definitely confront them," or "Who cares? Just do what makes you feel good now." At first, it felt validating because it seemed like they were on my side, but over time, I realized that they were not helping me grow or move past my issues. They were keeping me stuck in a cycle of negativity because it mirrored their own emotional state. Psychologically, this behavior can be linked to the concept of misery loves company. People who are unhappy with their own lives may subconsciously want to keep others around them in a similar emotional state. It creates a sense of camaraderie and makes them feel less alone in their struggles. However, this dynamic is toxic because it prevents both individuals from moving forward and finding healthier, more positive ways to cope with life's challenges. Building healthier friendships. In conclusion, toxic friendships can take many forms, but the key signs to watch out for include one-sided giving, empty promises, flattery combined with gossip, and encouragement of negative behavior. While it's important to approach all relationships with compassion and understanding, it's equally important to protect your mental and emotional well-being by setting boundaries and distancing yourself from people who drain your energy or pull you down. As you navigate your friendships, remember that you deserve relationships that uplift and support you. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth, who are there for you in both words and actions, and who help you become the best version of yourself. The lesson here is simple. You are worthy of positive, healthy friendships. Friendships should be mutually beneficial, based on respect, trust, and genuine care for one another's well-being. If you find yourself in a toxic friendship, it's okay to walk away. You're not responsible for fixing others, but you are responsible for protecting your own peace. By practicing mindfulness and being intentional about who you allow into your life, you can create a supportive, positive social circle that helps you thrive. After all, life is too short to be weighed down by relationships that don't bring out the best in you.